What is up? What's up, everybody? Thanks for sticking around and being committed. This is the kind of group I want to work with, people that stick it out. So good stick-it-to-itiveness. Let's jump in real quick. Column6, we are created for publishers, but optimized for advertisers. Before we get too deep into it, there is some exciting news announced last month. Column6 was acquired by a company called Digital Reef. Digital Reef is a technology company focused reaching the Latin American market. They spent years doing integrations with OEMs, carriers, phone manufacturers, SDKs, APKs. They have their hands in 450 million devices across Latin America. That gives them the ability to push apps onto phones automatically. So they can reach 450 million people with any app that exists. So think about some of the opportunities that the publishers in the room have to get user acquisition, right? We heard that user acquisition is expensive. With a click of a button, 450 million people, you can reach them in their pocket. That combination with Column6 means that this group now has the largest USH and BIPOC marketplace in North America. We have exclusive inventory on 450 million devices, like I said, and you can reach that audience on their small phone, their small screen, and their TV, their big screen. So super excited to be part of that team. So let's talk about CTV, since that's why we're here. Column6, we're really a two-for-one package, but I'm going to focus on just a couple things. First, the fact that we have the best technology in the industry. I'll stack our tech up against anybody else in the room, outside the room, wherever. We will beat them guaranteed. And we do everything for our clients. My job, my team's job, the entire company, our job is to make life of the client easy. And we do that in a couple different ways. First, we are the only marketplace and the ad management platform built specifically and only for connected television. In fact, Column6 was built without advertisers in mind, which is actually a good thing for the advertisers. So when we talk about who we built it for, we built it for the publisher. In fact, our company name, Column6, is a reference to the sixth column in our database, which is the publisher ID. Every single decision that we make from a technical perspective as well as a business perspective is focused on Column6 in our database and makes everything in our system click. It is the one thing that drives every decision that we make. When we talk about why publishers like to work with us, kind of the value prop that we bring, we start with the fact that we create actual transparency. And by actual transparency, I mean a couple different things. First, we hold ourselves accountable. If there's a mistake that's ever made from a publisher perspective or from a buyer perspective, we will tell you about it. We understand that things happen, people are human, mistakes happen. We'll work with you to get it figured out. But also, transparency is about trust. An advertiser has to know that every ad dollar that they're spending is not going into a black box, and essentially they're not getting screwed by somebody that's going to take a bunch of margin off the top and pay a publisher pennies on the dollar. So the way that we do that, the way that we create transparency, is by shortening the distance between the buyer and the seller. We've heard from a lot of people over the last 2 days talking about their inventory, talking about their content, talking about where they can distribute it. When I said that we make our clients' life easy, I meant that because instead of having to work with a whole bunch of people to get access to all that inventory, you can work with us and get all of that inventory, all of that audience in one place. We see 1 billion ad opportunities a day, and that number is growing as we onboard new publishers. Because we work with them directly, there's less hops. It's more efficient. Because there's less hops, there's less tech tax. No cost is passed on to the buyer or the publisher in our ecosystem, so everybody gets a better deal. Publishers make more money, advertisers' dollars go a little bit further. Another huge benefit is we own our own technology. We're not a white label of somebody else. We built from the ground up specifically for CTV. So when we put all the pieces together, we have to understand how this all works, right? I said that we try to make the life easy of all of our clients. If you're a publisher, think about this going the opposite way. From a buy-side perspective, start at the top. Column6 manages all of the hard work. We do all of the asset management. We do all of the targeting. We can help you understand and decide when to reach somebody, how to reach them, what content to drive them to. the zip code, the DMA, all those metadata signals that we can collect and decision on, push that out to one, many, or all of the publishers that we work with, and we can follow the user as they bounce around on their CTV journey. We talked a little bit about that earlier this week, where somebody sits on a piece of content for 2 minutes and then they bounce someplace else. Well, from a buy-side perspective, that means you have to have your buy with 2 different people, not with Column6. Here you can follow the advertiser, you can follow the user wherever they go as they make their journey. All of it's powered by a team sitting behind the scenes, making sure that everything is taken care of. I mentioned that we have the best tech in the industry, and I truly mean that. The amount of data that we're able to collect in our system is second to none. We pull data constantly, and when I say constantly, I mean we have automated systems that let our tech team know if something is overpacing, underpacing, whatever the case may be. I usually, and my team usually discovers those issues before our automated processes. That's how often we're looking at it. I make the joke that our platform is the first light that I turn on in the morning and the last light that I turn off. So any advertiser that works with us, somebody is watching all the time. And that's just because our team is committed. We're committed to making campaigns successful. We're committed to monetizing for the publisher. That is our pedigree, is to drive success. And we do that all based off of the data that we capture. Because we own our own tech, we're really our own boss. We don't have to wait for anybody. We're not a bolt-on technology. We started at CTV. We weren't a mobile ad server first. We weren't a display ad server first, and we're not chasing the dollars to CTV. We built specifically to run a CTV business. And that means faster, nimble decision making. Because we own our own tech, all we have to do is call the tech team and say, hey, this advertiser needs this, or this publisher wants this feature supported. And we go out and build it. We don't have to wait for somebody else. And part of that is because of being nimble is we don't ghost our clients, right? How many times has somebody run into a problem, they send an email, they get an automated response from a support queue. In our mind, that's unacceptable. You're working with an actual human, right? A human that knows how technology works, right? So we respond, I say within 24 hours, but really we're responding 15, 20, 30 minutes max. And our entire team is in it together, right? So when there is a problem, I call the tech team or the publisher team or whoever. It's the entire team is looking at everything all the time to make everything successful. Our entire platform has a layer of partnerships that we think are vital to the success of the CTV industry. The first is with LiveRamp. That's how we power data decisions and how campaigns are run, right? We can support first-party data, third-party data, action across it, no matter what it is. Every single ad request that comes into our system is monitored by Pixelate. That means every single dollar that comes into our system is protected from IVT. And then when we talk about how people are engaging with the content on Connected Television, we heard about the lean back experience, right? The lean back experience in CTV is very passive, right? People are sitting on the couch, they have the remote in their hand, and they're just kind of mindlessly clicking. How do you get them to engage? We have a partnership with Innovid. We're ICTV certified. We can now give engaging interactive units to the user that asks them to do something. Scan QR code, go to a website, whatever the case may be, but it's creating a new type of experience for the advertiser. And so when you're working with Column6, really, there's 3 things that we strive to do every day. 1, keep the publisher happy. If the publisher is happy, they like working with us, that brings much better pricing to the advertiser. We make everything transparent. There was conversations around title level reporting and whether it's something that can be offered. We offer that. We will show you how the sausage is made. It might not be pretty, you might not like it, but we'll show you. We think it's fair, right? People are putting their trust in us. We need to give them the data that allows them to trust us more. And we're hands-on the entire time. There's a whole team of people sitting behind the scenes, making sure that everything works, so that way, no matter who our client is, we give them the best experience possible, either on the buy side or the sell side. And I'll give you 23 seconds back of your day, so I appreciate you guys sticking with us. And thank you to the OTT.X team for putting on a great event. That's it.
That concludes our programming for